After the Jays pitching staff yesterday gave up 11 runs to the Houston Astros in Game 1 of the weekend set against the Astros, you knew with Jose Barrios on the mound today that you'd get a much better outing, and you did. The offense shriveled up yet again. I mean, look, they scored 7 yesterday, but you gave up 11. You only scored 2 in the game, and both coming off solo bombs of George Springer off of Luis Garcia's former teammate. And it gives the Jays a 2-0 lead. The one was in the bottom of the first, leading it off for the Blue Jays. Astro fans pulling their hair out, watching George do this to them. But I think it's fantastic. And the Jays are up 1-0 after 1 inning of play. Great job. Barrios going out there in the first couple, doing what he's supposed to do. Good stuff. Put the Jays back on the offense. They're in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. And Springer comes up again and gets a 2-0 pitch. Another breaking ball. The first home run was on a breaking ball. The second home run was on a breaking ball as well. And he crushed the second one to left center. And it's a 2-0 Blue Jays lead in the bottom half of the 3rd. That multi-run lead. Oh, you feel great. Problem though, next half inning, Yordan Alvarez absolutely destroys one to center field into the flight deck. Luckily a solo bomb, and it's 2-1. Still lots of ball to play, but the Jays pitching staff the rest of the way settled down and was phenomenal. Barrios, after that solo bomb, settled down. Simber was great, fantastic in his inning. Tim Meza was fantastic. Jordan Romano, electric as always. The offense, wasn't there. And that seems to be a theme, and I think we can all agree that not having Teoscar Hernandez in the lineup has been really, really tough to watch. And ever since he's gone down, the Jays have really struggled offensively. And when he comes back, not only is it another impact bat, it gets rid of Bradley Zimmer's bat, or whatever it is he does to the plate. I mean, other than maybe bunting for a base hit and that one solo bomb in the Crawford box there in Houston, which would have been a flyout anywhere else, he hasn't done anything on offense for the Toronto Blue Jays. That's why he's batting 9th and is basically an automatic out. You bring a Teoscar Hernandez back into that lineup, it changes a lot of things. And everyone's going to get a lot more comfortable. The confidence is going to go up. There's going to be less stress on certain guys. It's just going to change everything. Now, the talk is that he'll be around at the earliest, the Guardians series, which I believe is after the Yankees set. So, again, we're still in that stretch of 20 and 20. Was it 20 and 20? No, 20 days straight. And 30 and 31. That's ludicrous to start the season. And the teams you're playing in that stretch is insane. And I know, Jays fans, we can sit here and complain about the offense. And you know what? Yeah, it wasn't great. I mean, when you have 6 hits in the game, you struck out 6 times. And I talked about in the last video how the bottom of the lineup did a great job, but the top of the shop couldn't get it done. Well, today was the complete opposite. And I had a feeling it would be. George Springer obviously going 2 for 3 in the game with a couple of runs scored. Obviously 2 RBIs on both his solo bombs. Bo Bichette, other than that damn error that he had that almost led to a tying run, went 2 for 4 with the bat, hit a couple line drives. The one that I really wish he had back was the hanging breaking ball with the guy on base that he almost, mid-season Bo would be crushing that ball out of the ballpark, but instead he pops out to center field. But he went 2 for 4 in the game, a multi-hit game for him, and for confidence-wise, that's really, really big for him. And Lourdes Gurriel Jr. just continues to swing the bat really well. He went 2 for 4 in the game. Vladdy goes 0 for, he was getting squeezed a little bit, a couple tough strikes, and he's going to get fined a little bit for throwing the bat down. And I love Charlie Montoyo stepping up for his boy and going out there and getting ejected. Because you know what? You didn't want your best hitter, arguably one of the best hitters in all of baseball, to get tossed from that game. What was it, like the 5th or 6th inning? The last thing you want is to see him get booted in a 2-1 ball game like that. So he basically tells Vladdy, "Get the hell on the bench. I'm going to take it for you." And he does. So great job from Charlie there. I love what I saw from him. But let's get to the pitching staff, because that's what was so good today. Jose Barrios, 5 2/3. Again, struggled a little bit, right? 7 hits allowed, walked a couple guys, allowed only the solo bomb to Yordan Alvarez and struck out 5. He was flirting with danger a little bit, but Barrios, with the quality stuff that he does have, has the ability to get out of tough jams. And he did that yet again today. He has been phenomenal since that opening day start. He really has. The second start wasn't great. It was better. But after those first 2 starts, he's been really, really good. Statistically, he's been phenomenal. And Adam Simber goes out there, and he came into a crucial situation. I believe there was runners in the corners with 2 out. And, a pretty hairy situation. But he found a way to get the one out to Adam Simber to get out of that inning. Then he goes out there and gets a couple batters. And then they bring in Tim Meza. And he cleans up that, well, I wouldn't say a mess because Adam Simber didn't have anybody on. But he finishes off Simber's inning. And then he goes out there for his own and goes and doesn't allow any base runners or doesn't allow any runs to cross as well. So he was really good. Simber went a clean inning, no hits, no walks, no Ks, no runs. And Tim Meza went an inning and a third, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, and struck out 2. He was very good in his inning of work. And then Jordan Romano goes out there in the top half of the 9th inning, and he's facing the top of the lineup, albeit, you know, with no Michael Brantley in the lineup, obviously Nico Goodrum and Chaz McCormick, excuse me, it doesn't look as daunting. But then you have Alex Bregman in the 3-hole, but he got McCormick, he got Nico Goodrum, and you bring up, you know, Bregman in the best situation possible if you're a Toronto Blue Jay fan with 2 out and nobody on, and you get him to fly out to Tapia to end the ball game. And Jordan Romano continues to pitch extremely well. And for the Blue Jays, they have 14 wins on the year. They're 14-8. 8 of which, over half of the Blue Jays wins, have been 1-run ball games. That's why we're all going crazy. And we're pulling our hair out half the time because we're not having any of these ball games, which would be nice to have right about now because we keep stressing out. When you're playing really good teams, like the Red Sox twice, like the Astros twice, you'll eventually be playing the Yankees twice. You're going to have these close, tight games. And more often than not, it seems the Jays are on the right end of it. The bullpen's been great. The pitching staff's been phenomenal. And what do we always say? Pitching and defense wins ball games. And it did today. Great job all around from the pitching and defense today. Offensively, they still got to figure it out. And it's only April. If we're stressing like crazy, saying this offense isn't good, blah, 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 it's April. Yes, it's going to turn May tomorrow, but it's April. And the Jays just went 14-8 in the first month of the year. We all know they haven't hit their stride. They're playing pretty good baseball, and they haven't played Baltimore yet. They haven't played any of these bad teams yet. I mean, yeah, you played Texas and Oakland once. But that was it. Every other team you've played, I believe, has been like a playoff contender or almost a playoff lock. Like the Houston Astros, the Yankees, the Red Sox. And the Jays are 14-8. Like, take that in. And as I mentioned earlier, they're in a stretch of playing 20 straight days. And 30 games in 31 days to start the year. And they're 14-8. I understand the offense has been perfect. I get it. But when you take a step back and you look at things as a whole, it's pretty incredible what this young team has done. It really is. And they've won in so many different ways, whether it's coming from behind, whether it's, you know, scoring a bunch and able to hang on, or whether it's like this, winning a 2-1 game against the Astros, or winning 1-0 against the Red Sox. Like, you're finding different ways to win. And as we all know, coming down the stretch and come playoff time, it is so crucial. It is so, so crucial to watch this Blue Jays team win one-run ball games, because in the playoffs, you may have to play in a 1-run ball game. We all know what happened last year. Can you imagine the Jays in a playoff game in a 1-run game? Would you have faith in that team last year? No. This year, very different story. Very, very different story. All right? Jays fans, let's preview tomorrow's game because it's the finale of the 3-game set. The Blue Jays look to win another series. And I will tell you this. Yes, they haven't played the greatest baseball. Yes, the offense hasn't gotten going and all that. But you have an opportunity tomorrow to win the series. Not only just win the series, win the season series against Houston, because you don't play them again after tomorrow. The only time you might is come playoff time. And can you imagine, Jays fans, if you win this game tomorrow, May 1st, and let's say you face the Astros, right? Or let's say you end up tied in you know, both teams end up winning the division, but you're tied in, you know, wins and losses, everything is identical. They go to that head-to-head record. And if the Jays have that head-to-head record, we host games at Rogers Center for games 1 and 2. Like, you see how important these games are against these good teams and being over 500 and have the winning record against them. They have a winning record against the Boston Red Sox. They are 2-2 against the New York Yankees. They have a possibility to go 4-2 against the Houston Astros and win that season series in the beginning of May. And it could come down to be so important down the road. We saw last year, guys, how many key games the Jays lost, and how many. I mean, you could look at one game last year and say, that's a deciding game. That's a deciding game. That's a deciding game. That's the reason they didn't make the playoffs. You can pick out, I don't know how many games from last year, and that's why they missed it, because all you needed was one. If Marcus Semien made that ground ball against Detroit, it's a simple, routine ground ball. You make that throw, it's over. You make the playoffs if everything goes the same, right? But it didn't happen. You lost that game. And yeah, the stretch run was great, and it was all fun, but you missed by one game. And the Jays going out there now and winning these 1-run ball games and beating these good teams. It's important, even though it's early in the season. And the Jays have an opportunity tomorrow to win the season series against Houston. Framber Valdez gets the ball for the Astros in the finale against Kevin Gausman. It's a 137 first pitch. We all know how Gausman has been unbelievable to start the season. You're going to need it again. You're going to need it again tomorrow from Kevin Gausman. Yeah, you play the Yankees next, but you cannot think about that. One game at a time. You go out there tomorrow and you win that series, my goodness. This team is on a different level in a sense of winning. The other thing, the specifics, yeah, they're not quite there. But winning, you go out there and you win tomorrow, you're making a statement early. All right, so Jays fans, you know what? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and you enjoyed the W today, smack that like button. I do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already, comment down below. Thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game for the Toronto Blue Jays? The Twitter link is down below, so follow, send me a DM, do that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys. All right. Latest edition very shortly, actually. Right after this, I'm going to be recording the round one preview between the Leafs and the Tampa Bay Lightning. That gets going on Monday night. And as I've told you guys many times before, and I'll say it again, I will be in California this entire week. So I looked at the schedule, and I believe Game 5, if it happens, I will be back here, which I'm kind of shocked about. I thought I wouldn't make any games. But hey, looks like we might. And I have to look at the schedule again to confirm that. But the first few games of the playoffs will obviously not be here. They will be in California. And as for the Toronto Raptors, they're done. I'll talk to you guys in a couple weeks about them. And as for the Toronto Blue Jays, as we've talked about, I tried to reiterate many times now in this video, you have a chance tomorrow to win the series and win the season series against the Houston Astros. All right, 137 first pitch at Rogers Center. Framber Valdez versus Kevin Gausman. May 1st, calendar turns. Let's see what this Jays Club's all about, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the game this afternoon. We'll talk to you guys then.